Welcome to Football with Cheese. So in this video, we continue our series of doing 32 teams in 32 days. We're almost done. We've done 28 so far, and we've done every division but the NFC South. And this video is all about the Atlanta Falcons. Tomorrow is going to be about the Carolina Panthers. And the Buccaneers and Saints will be unique just because they're the only two teams I will make a video about that have finished their preseason. So in these videos, we're going to be optimistic. We're going to hype your team, tell you everything that can go right. And if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe and hit the bell for notification so you never miss one of my videos. I do cover all 32 teams on this channel. So Atlanta Falcons, they had some front office and coaching turnover. They brought in Ian Cunningham to be the new GM. Terry Fontenot, did a job. I think it was time to move on. He made two really big moves. One was drafting Michael Penix Jr. after signing Kirk Cousins. The other was moving up in the draft after taking Jalen Walker to draft another edge rusher, James Pierce Jr., with character concerns. Now, so far, haven't really worked out. We'll talk about both those in a second. But you bring in Ian Cunningham to replace Fontenot. You never know with GMs. He could be great, he could be bad. I did like the hire. I think he's going to be very good. And then Kevin Stefanski was named head coach. And I saw a lot of mixed reactions on X. I think most Falcons fans liked it, but some didn't. But here's what I'll say to the ones that didn't. He never had a chance in Cleveland. He likes to run the ball. He likes to do play action. And once Nick Chubb got hurt and they didn't have a running game, he couldn't run his offense. And Deshaun Watson was forced on him. Kevin Stefanski didn't make that trade, and Watson was a horrible fit for Stefanski's offense, and Watson's just a terrible player in general. So Stefanski wants to run the ball and do play action. It's going to work out in Atlanta because you have one of the best running backs in the NFL. We'll talk about that in a second, but they also retained Jeff Ulbrich. He was defensive coordinator last year. I really liked that move. He did a great job as defensive coordinator for the Jets, and he knows the organization. He'd been assistant with Atlanta before. So I really like the moves they made in the offseason. Now, speaking of defense, I usually talk about offense first, but I want to talk about defense. So Jalen Walker's out for the year. Okay, get that out of the way. It sucks. He was their first-round pick last year, one of their two first-round picks. And then James Pierce Jr. goes and breaks the law. He's suspended for half the season. He's lucky he's not in jail for the next 10 years. And so they're two young, talented pass rushers. One will miss the year, one will miss half the year. I promise, it's going to be a positive video. So Jeff Ulbrich's got to find a way to get some pass rush. The good news is, I'm looking at this roster, and I really like Brandon Dorlus. Maybe he will break out this year. And Braylon Trice, 2 years ago, was a third-round pick. I loved him coming out of Washington. He was in my top 50, and he fell to the third round because of injury, and he has not played yet in the NFL. He's been injured for 2 years. But from what I read, he's 100% healthy. And he was a terror in college. Helped Washington make it all the way to the national title. So did Michael Penix Jr. But I think the defense might be okay. I don't think it's going to be a great defense without those two guys. But if they can hang in there, once they get James Pierce Jr. back, they might be all right. And I really like the secondary. Jesse Bates, Xavier Watts, what a great safety tandem. A.J. Terrell, Billy Bowman. And they drafted Avian Terrell in the second round. I thought he'd go late first round. He had a bad workout. He might have been injured. But the brother of A.J. Terrell is way more athletic than the workout indicated. Oh, and they did sign to Darius Smith. Almost forgot about that. He's a veteran. He's not what he used to be, but hopefully he'll be serviceable until Pierce can come back. Now, the ceiling of the offense will come down to the quarterback. We'll talk about that last. But you have Bijan Robinson, one of the best running backs, if not the best running back in the NFL. Drake London, one of the best bigger receivers in the NFL. You have a terrific offensive line for the most part, except for maybe right tackle. But Chris Lindstrom, one of the best guards in the game. And they extended the left guard Bergeron. I really like that move. Really, everyone is good or great, except for Jawan Taylor at right tackle. And that is the blindside protector for either of the quarterbacks, since they're both left-handed. So Falcons fans, right tackle is probably going to be a big need next year. Temper your expectations with Taylor. He's going to get a lot of penalties. That's just the way it is. They're going to have to keep a tight end or running back in to chip the pass rusher that he goes against a lot. It's just going to have to happen. But that's okay. The other four are really great. Now, Kyle Pitts Sr., I don't know what to do with him. He either has a good season or a bad season. Last year was very good, so they paid him. Hopefully, for Falcons fans, he plays more like last year, not the years before that. But I was a little surprised they paid him. Let me know in the comments if you were surprised as well. And finally, quarterback. So Tua Tagovailoa was signed in free agency. If he is your starter for all 17 games, you're not going to win the division. You're not going to make the playoffs. It's just not going to happen. He's just not that good. And Mike McDaniel was his head coach, great offensive mind. He got the most out of Tua. He realized that he wasn't very good, so let's get the ball out quickly to Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill. Let them do all the work. Basically, that's what happened. And he doesn't have a receiver like a Tyreek Hill or Jalen Waddle on this team, yards after catch guys, speed down the field. Although, Zachariah Branch, let's talk about him real quick before you go back to the quarterbacks. He's had a great camp. He is really small, but he's really fast, and he can stretch the defense. So when you have a deep threat, like a Zachariah Branch, the safeties can't creep up close to the line of scrimmage. They're going to have to play at least 20, maybe 25 yards deep. So while they didn't have the first-round pick in the James Pierce Jr. trade, they got a first-round talent, Avian Terrell, in round 2, and Zachariah Branch is looking like a steal in the 3rd round. So even though most drafting analysts didn't like their draft, it's looking a little better right now. And finally, Michael Penix Jr. He was a top 10 pick a couple years ago. He has not been healthy. He was a tremendous player in college. That is the key for the Falcons season. They tied for first last year in the division. They lost on a tiebreak. A lot of people probably don't remember that, but they actually did tie for first, even though they were 8-9. But if Michael Penix Jr. can stay healthy and show the potential that we saw late in his rookie year, that we saw in college, then this team can win the division. This team can make the playoffs. If he does not play well, if he does not stay healthy, then this team is probably going to end up picking the top 10, which might not be the worst thing because next year's draft is absolutely loaded. So over-under is 7.5. A lot depends on Michael Penix Jr. and how well the defense does without James Pierce Jr. and Jalen Walker. But I think the over. I think they're going to win at least 8 or 9 games and maybe compete for the division if Michael Penix Jr. plays well. So let me know in the comments. Do you think Atlanta can win the NFC South? And do you think they should be over or under 7.5? If you enjoyed this, give me a thumbs up. Helps out the channel, and share this with anyone who loves football. I cover all 32 teams on this channel, and Mike and I do the Lights Out podcast Tuesday nights, 9 Eastern and 6 Pacific. And this Monday at 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific, we're going to do a special college football preview show. So make sure you subscribe, hit the bell so you do not miss it. Check out these videos on the screen if you have not. And I'll see you in the next video.